put together in Sri Lanka to become permanent site for the International Space Year in 1992 and beyond is something that we really had not anticipated happening so quickly. And we also see that as the type of vision that's driving this institution much far beyond those small dreams the founders had over 2 years ago when we started it.
Dr. Kalpage in Colombo, would you care to comment on the International Space University and its importance for a developing nation like Sri Lanka?
Yes. As His Excellency the President of Sri Lanka, who incidentally is the Minister of Higher Education, has already said, the Sri Lankan government has approved in principle Sri Lanka's participation in the International Space University. The Arthur Clarke Center will be the liaison center for the ISU. We have already taken action to invite applications to select a Sri Lankan nominee for the MIT summer session of ISU in 1988.
Dr. Hawley, I am Professor Mendes from the University of Moratuwa. I'm extremely glad that the Arthur Clarke Center has now taken active interest in participating in the ISU body. We wish to acknowledge the contribution provided by our own ambassador for Sri Lanka in the USA. And already in Sri Lanka, there is wide interest by many Sri Lankans to participate in the MIT summer session. We are also glad at the Arthur Clarke Center in Sri Lanka that your curriculum is going to be multidisciplinary in character, and we look forward to a very successful MIT summer session.
Yes, Mr. Durant, can you comment on some of this?
Well, I think the International Space Year, or ISY, is a very exciting concept, and I'm particularly interested in and delighted that around the world, and particularly Soviet Union and Japan and other spacefaring nations, the ESA, all are interested in development of the ISY. I believe the International Space University offers a great opportunity for international study and for communicating the exciting possibilities in research during this 1992 period. But there's also an opportunity for a much wider educational process on a global basis of science and technology relating to the ISY, or the many projects that I think will evolve for that period. Certainly the application satellites that use their unique vantage point in space in Clarke orbit for communications, weather, Earth observation, and so on. These are just part of the exciting stories that can be told and should be told for the education and information of the world.
Thank you, Mr. Durant. Professor Mendes, do you have a comment on that from Colombo?
Well, we are extremely glad that Mr. Durant has mentioned that the advantages of ISY should extend global. And we at the University of Moratuwa have already commenced some initiatives with the Arthur C. Clarke Center for Modern Technologies. And more than all, we are glad that Colombo could be a possible location for the ISU campus. Already, by combining with the University of Moratuwa and the Arthur C. Clarke Center, there is the trinity that can derive reality to the kind of global advantage of ISY that Mr. Durant spoke about. And I think it is also an opportunity, if the ISU campus is in Colombo, for its benefits to be shared by students, researchers and others in Asia and the rest of the region close to Colombo.
Dr. Kalpage, do you have some comments that you would like to add?
Yes, I am very glad that the ISU aims to develop a multidisciplinary curriculum, because this would give an opportunity for those of us in the developing countries associated with ISU to design a curriculum with the third world also in mind. This would, I think, help to prevent large disparities in space-related development. For otherwise, developing countries would be at a distinct disadvantage in the 21st century. I therefore welcome ISU's decision to include participants from at least 100 countries at the MIT summer session next year.
Dr. Pelton?
I would just like to note some of the activities that I think have a direct relevance to the Clark Center and the Sri Lankan interest in space. One of the proposals that has come forward at this point involving International Space Year is the possible sponsorship of a contest among the research and universities in developing countries to develop a small low-cost Earth station appropriate for development activities. And one of the proposals that has been made that perhaps the Arthur Clarke Foundation in the U.S. as well as the Society of Satellite Professionals might co-sponsor along with other groups such a worldwide contest among the universities of the world, particularly in developing countries. Another proposal which has been made is that International Space Year should be used as an opportunity to, if you will, educate everybody on planet Earth about the benefits of space. And there have been several proposals made. Carl Sagan and Susan Eisenhower, the granddaughter of President Eisenhower, have both made several suggestions about how this might be accomplished. And we've been talking to various production groups about the idea of producing one or more global television shows with an audience of 1 billion or so, and we may ask Arthur for his help as he did with the Day of the 5 Billion and several other productions done in the last few years. So these are attempts to take the technology out of just the laboratories of advanced countries and bring them more to everybody on planet Earth. And I do hope that that aspect of International Space Year, and to a certain extent the International Space University, will also achieve.
Dr. Pierce in Sri Lanka, could we have your comments, please?
Yes, I am very happy to be in Sri Lanka and to find the way in which our two nations share an interest in space, an interest in the Space University,